Welcome, my Wednesday night yoga friends from around the world. We're just checking in. We're lying on our back. We got 3, 4 more minutes on the back, and then we'll do some famous yin and restorative yoga. Welcome if you're brand new. Welcome if you're a Zoom friend. If you're YouTubing for the first time and the algorithm has brought you here, it's probably a good time to start healing and restoring and regenerating with the power of yoga. This is yoga for everybody. It's designed so that everybody can participate. Good turnout of friends. You're in good company. 1 minute of breathing down from your belly button, and then we'll get started. I like to breathe from the diaphragm. It helps to connect with your feelings. And here comes Looney Cat. A lot of you have subscribed just to see Looney, the yoga cat. Take a load off, Looney. Okay, nice big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. We are calm and relaxed and peaceful souls. Good. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circulate feel good around your body. Take your arms up to the ceiling. Stretch your arms back up over your head. Get a good first thing in the morning stretch. Good. Draw your knees in. Roll around a little bit on your back. Good, you guys. Let's roll up together and we'll say hello. Almost got the camera right. Pretty close. It's not easy running a worldwide media empire. This is Looney. He's going to have a snack with us. Hopefully you have loved ones around to share your practice. Yoga is best done with friends. Good. Anyway, I'm Greg. This is Greg from Tiny Yoga Studio in Concord, California. And while the house is big, the studio is convenient. Let's put it that way. Anyway, we have all the space we need. The reason I do it in this room is to show that you have all the room you need to engage your practice, to move and to heal. and to use our space wisely. Good. We'll just get started with joint juice. Nice big inhale for an Om. Inhale. A blessing, God, love, source, infinite higher organizing wisdom. Give all the participants in this class this very evening the love, light, and truth that they need to thrive and to prosper. Spread this love and light to all these friends watching from around the world. Om, amen. By the way, great turnout. The analytics are amazing. It's so fun watching yoga spread around the world. And I think one of the reasons is we keep it simple. Shoulders, one. If you're brand new and you've just been eager to try yoga, just have a seat, start moving your body in the ways that I recommend. And before you know it, it'll unfold into a brand new sort of freedom and happiness inside of your body. 6, 7. Now my shoulders are going to go back up, over and around and down. Wednesday is a day we do yin yoga. We call it Yin's Day. Slower, calmer, more patient, a little more time. 7, 8. Good job. Drop your chin, take your head around 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple human range of motion. 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Now you're really going to like this. Drop your chin down, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and just peacefully do about 30 seconds of chin dropped, eyes closed, feeling into the center of your body. More feeling, less thinking. We've all been thinking all day long. Thinking is a great faculty, but not 130% all the time. Good. All right, then we'll get our arms going. Up you go. And out. These are called angel wings, arms behind your back, up your back. A lot of this is just getting in the herd with the other animals. Animals are smart. They participate with the other animals. They move like the other ones do. They don't isolate in their room all day long and stare at iPads. Some of the younger animals do. Up your back. Poof. And poof. Good job. Here's a simple movement. I'm sitting with my legs crossed, having a hard time with your knees up and your spine thrown back. Sit up on a little blanket. Now the hands are on the knees. Left shoulder toward my right knee. Right shoulder toward my left knee. Rather obviously a circle, isn't it? Maybe you're brand new and you're thinking, man, I should start doing some yoga. A small movement will suffice. Maybe you're super flexible. You've been doing yoga for 7 or 8 decades. 6. I swear these movements have a magical, mystical power. And 8. Now right shoulder toward your left knee, left shoulder, right knee. We're churning a bit, aren't we? We're breaking congestion open. Viyama is the Sanskrit word. I like the name joint juice. 5. You don't have to be the most flexible person in class. You don't have to be the gold star Olympic athlete. If you are, great. And 8. Excellent. All right. Now, the problem with forward folding, maybe you just can't come splat all the way down. So by small increments, supporting yourself with your hands. Again, if you put your rump up on a blanket, it'll tilt your pelvis forward. But since we're going to spend nearly a minute in this, it's not a competition to see who can go the lowest, the fastest. It's to see who can go the bestest, the slowest. Drop your chin, relax your neck. This is moving meditation. No rush, no effort to get to the next better pose. Now, if you've been a while, you can inhale, look forward from your fingertips, lengthen your spine, and you can exhale, deepen a little. I'm not saying you can't go deep and profound into these poses, but I'm here to help everybody get somewhere that's good for them. Now I'm just going to walk my hands over to the right, one paw print at a time. I'm kind of low in the pose. My chest runs into my thigh, so I lift up, exhale over my right leg, keep my left hip down. Sometimes I like to put my left hand on top of my right hand to stretch those tight muscles above my shoulder blade. Relax my shoulders down away from my ears. Good, inhale here. Exhale, take your hands. Just walk your hands over to the left until you run out of space. You'll know because your right hip will start to lift. When that happens, drop into your right hip, relax your shoulders. Tensionless at your neck, back, and shoulders. Yin yoga, Y-I-N. The opposite of yang, active, aggressive. That's great yoga. We love that. Sometimes we need the peaceful, slow, feminine, cooling brand. Good, my friends. Walk your hands back to the front. And come on up. I'm a huge proponent of oming. I think vibration is very healing. Do it with me. Inhale. Good, now prayer hands. If you're a praying person, a few moments to pray. If you like just being quiet and settling your hands at your heart. This can be physical, spiritual, emotional, scientific, but just a centering of yourself at the center of yourself. Very simply put, practicing the presence. This could be the most healing part. You're not sure which of the 10 different aspects of healing does the trick, so we do all of them. Good. Now here's a way to wake up a little bit and counteract sitting all day long. So just hands and feet, and to the degree that you can lift up your bottom. Maybe you're just getting into the game. It's very challenging, but trying to do yoga is yoga as long as you're honestly trying. Good. Now sink on down. Now, if you're one of the new friends, you might be Your hands may not get down to the floor yet, but arms out, turn your thumbs to the outside, bend your elbows into your belly. If your hands don't come down yet, there's still hope. You're just going to wait for it. When your fingertips come down, then you'll slowly start to lean into the heels of your hands. Then you'll drop your chin. If you're a young, bendy, flexible person, the heels of your hands will come down. If you're, I don't know, older than 30, 40, 50, 60, your best years are out in front of you if you start doing some yoga. Sometimes I walk my dogs. I go a little left and right. I've been doing this stuff for damn near 50 years, and I feel like if there's anything that slows or reverses aging and lets us live our best life now, it's the practice of yoga. Good. Now we're going to bend our wrists the other way, and I got a way to do everything. Just start with these, just side to side, waistband, balance, arm extension, internal and external rotation. Every little bit helps. Every little bit is cumulative. Too many people aren't doing yoga because they think they have to be expert right from the start. And man, that levels us in anything that we're trying to learn. Start where you are. Good. Left hand, left knee. Right arm, internal rotation. Right arm behind my back. I bring my right hand up my back, and if possible, the back of my hand goes inside my armpit. If you're not here yet, you're just here or here. Then this left hand might be able to grab your right elbow. If it's too far away, keep coming back to every single class. And then there's always that bendy friend who can bring the elbow into their side. The great mercy of yoga is when we begin to cease competing with others, we're really just competing with ourself from yesterday, with ourself from tomorrow. Get a little bit better at everything you do every day. I think this is the wisdom that comes with growing older. We get better at learning how to do things. Good, now undo that. Right hand, right knee, left arm out. Couple of corkscrews. Doesn't it make sense just to move a little bit like this? Good, now internal rotation, arm behind my back. For some people, this is the stretch. Hand comes up. After a while, the back of your wrist will just go inside of your armpit. Makes a nice little cup holder. Right hand may not grab left elbow yet. When it does, it adds leverage. If it doesn't, just putting your hand here will work. Trust the sequence of these poses. Drop your chin, close your eyes. Here we'll say the great prayer of acceptance. I accept exactly who I am, where I am, what I have, what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, right here, right now, exactly the way that it is. It's one of the most powerful prayers in the universe. Good, now take your hand out. Now, some relief. Place your hands, roll them around. Great if you work on a keyboard, great if you do anything with your hands, which is everybody. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See how we're cleverly going through all the joints of the body? That's why joint juice yoga is sweeping the planet, because a lot of people think yoga are strange alien poses, and they are, but not all of it. There's this kind, and most people need this kind. Wave your hands. Go really fast if you're a fast, quick twitch muscle person. Cup your hands at your heart, drop your chin, close your eyes. Sometimes we say mantra. We are calm, peaceful souls. What's another beautiful mantra? Things are always working out for us. All things work together for good for those who love good. Good. Now, we're not going to leave out our feet, are we? No, we're just going to extend our left leg out. Our right ankle is going to go over our left knee. This is a perfectly good way to sit, to have access to your foot. If the left one folds under, great. Don't worry about it if it doesn't. One, all I'm doing, strong right hand grabbing my right shin and releasing my ankle. 5, 6, 7, 8, other way. I have a lot of people, they leave comments, your yoga is too simple, they say, the judgmental people, and they're usually the people that aren't doing it. So yeah, it's simple if you're not, unless you're not doing it, then it's the most profound thing ever. By the way, just as an aside, can you crack your toes? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're supposed to crack. If they haven't for a while, there's still hope for you. Now, this is weird and fun. I admit, I'm just stretching my toes open. Some people's toes are like distant relatives that live in Akron, Ohio. So just stretch your toes open. And you may not be able to get your 4 left fingers inside of your toes. Maybe you haven't done that since you're a little kid. It's time. Sometimes I got to spread my toes open. Good, now I got them all in there. I'm very gently going to squeeze my toes into my fingers. While I'm doing that, I'm going to stretch my left toes open. This is called balancing your corpus callosum, splaying on one side, squeezing on the other, and the sound of one hand praying at your heart. See how every pose is a prayer? Good, you guys. Now, from here, you can take your hand out. If your leg is out like this, you can just bring your right knee in and take your elbow around and take a little turn to the right. If your shin came in and you're a little more bendier, good grammar, I'm just taking my hands onto my knees, my right arm behind me, and a little opening twist to the right. It's not the volume of the pose, it's the quality of it. If you're very bendy, your right hand snakes behind your back, grabs your right foot, but probably not tonight. Good, you guys. Now come out of your twist, grab your elbows the way that you would always grab them. Bring them up to here, 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 and here, here, you guys. From ear to here, from ear to ear, side, side. Just get into the flow. Don't think about it. Follow the sequence. Surrender control to somebody else for 2 minutes. I personally find that very hard myself. That's why God has me do yoga. I've done thousands and thousands of yoga with other teachers. Good. Nice job. Now, right leg out. Remember, all you got to do, put that on top. That is perfectly sufficient. If it seems possible to fold that in, great, but it's not necessary. Now, left hand grabs the middle of my left calf. I grab on way at the far, not in the middle of my foot. Archimedes said, give me a big enough lever and I'll move the world. So I grab way down at the end. Eureka, I say. That was Archimedes' big moment in the sun. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now the opportunity to crack your toes. If you're brand new and watching this, if you're just sitting going, maybe I should. If you just start, you're going to be amazed, but you got to do it. Now, take your toes. Again, they may be like distant relatives in Pensacola, Florida. and you stretch your toes open. By the way, welcome to my friends watching from Florida. It's great to have you. Now, I'm stretching my toes open. I got these 4 right fingers. I wonder if they'll go in. Well, by golly, they will. You know why? Because I've been doing it for a while. Maybe you haven't. Once I get them in, I'm going to squeeze my toes into my fingers. That's a form of acupressure. I'm also going to splay my right toes open. The sound of one hand praying at my heart. Drop your chin. Be a calm and peaceful soul. I want to cure the world of this yoga elitism, these beautiful yoga models, 22 years old, doing these poses that look like they're photoshopped, and I'm all for them. I'm not judging them, but I'm saying everybody else, get on board, move a little bit, and don't let yourself be frightened or scared. Oftentimes those yogis are just as scared, just as anxious, more worried. We're here to be calm and peaceful souls. Good. All right, now you take your hand out. A very simple twist, if you just got to here, would be to bring your left knee in, and if your right elbow doesn't go around your knee, your left elbow would be fine. You take a little turn to the left. If your shin is folded under with a tall spine, you turn to the left, right hand, left knee, left arm behind you. And if you're very bendy and you got snaky left arm, it goes all the way around behind your back and clasps your left ankle. But again, I say that mostly for amusement. I just want you to close your eyes and relax into a seated, peaceful twisting of your nervous system. And before you know it, your brain will start to slow down, thinking will begin to decrease, and every now and then you'll experience a miracle, the gap in between the incessant caterwauling of our mind. Good, inhale here, and come on out. Good job. Untie your legs, wiggle them out. Did you know sitting on the floor with your legs extended straight and strong in front is a yoga pose? It's a little bit more formal if you take your arms up. You might be leaning back, knees bent, kind of shaky. After a while, tissue will open up. The underseam of your legs will root in. Your pelvis will tilt forward. Your arms will extend up higher, but your shoulders can be relaxed. Hi, Looney. We are very blessed. Here comes Looney, cat. He's going to jump up to his cat tree. He's going to examine my drink. Should I knock this drink over? Should I go up into my cat tree? So many options. Nope, I think I'll go back outside. Okay, now hands down on the floor, feet in. Lift up again. It's a pose reprise. Good, you guys. Now sink down. Now here's a great pose for if you're over 40 and kind of stiff. Lean back, cross your right thigh over your left thigh. If you're quite tight, you barely can get the ankle over. Otherwise, you know the people, the supermodels, they can cross their knee and then slink their right ankle under. That's never, I don't have hips that are designed for that. Everything else is. Good. Now, a good yoga pose is to slide in as far as you can. This is compression in yoga. Compression squeezes. It detoxifies. It has the effect of squeezing out stuff we don't want. Good, now you want a little more zing in your thing. Just lift up onto your left toenails really high. Good, you guys, and now sink down out of this. I'm going to show this next one from the side. By the way, Always have a yoga blanket or a pillow nearby. This is a good one for something underneath your head. And if your knees are very far away, just bring them in as close as you can. Grab your thighs, unless you can grab your left knee. Now I'm intentionally, I have a block underneath my head because in this pose your spine shortens. And most yogis, if they do this and they're tight, their spine shortens and their chin goes up and the back of their neck is a hot mess. This is why God invented the yoga blanket or block. And this allows us to get in a pose, maintain it, and enjoy it for a few moments. Squeezing is very good. We all like a good squeeze every now and then. If you don't have a main squeeze, you can be your own main squeeze in your life. I'm just holding on, letting my hips settle, getting a good release of my flanks, the outside of my legs. Then I'm just going to roll my head left and right. I would only do this if my neck was supported, but because I have sufficient space, this is remarkably relieving for me. Good, you guys. Good job on this one. Now, all you got to do, it takes some physical effort to get up out of the pose, yes? Uncross your legs. I'm going back to square one. Going to stretch my legs out. A lot of the sequences are asymmetrical, aren't they? We work them from every angle. Good, now from here, I just lean back. Really, I have a great compassion and sympathy for all the people around the world that maybe haven't moved for a while, because I've been in your boat. So some of us can't get the ankle over the knee. It's frustrating and you feel aggravated, like you want to quit. But after a while, it'll wrap all the way over like it was designed at the factory. It might take a week. It might take 50 lifetimes. I don't care how long it takes. I care that you're in the game. Good, now my left thigh is all the way over my right thigh. Now, can Greg slink his left ankle underneath his right ankle? Almost, because I've been losing some weight. Now, if there's any extra space, you slide your bum in until your bum runs into your right heel. Now I've got some weight in my arms. This is some good upper body strength. If you're a perfect yogi athlete, then, and you're watching, God bless you. We need your energy. Now from here, I'm going to lift my bum and stand up on my right toes. This is all designed to get stickiness, compression, congestion out of your mind, body, and soul. Trust the teacher. Good, come on down. Now again, I'm going to show this one from the side. All I'm going to do, lay on my back. I cannot recommend a nice big pillow or a blanket underneath your head enough. Oh, there goes Looney. Now, I can almost get my left ankle under. That's my goal by the end of the year when I lose about 10 more pounds. If your knees are too far away, then don't trip. Just grab your thighs, hold on, practice patience. Lace over your right knee if possible. Rest your head back onto your block. And we're going to take a minute to yin it in this pose. This is good for all of the digestion and other functions south of the border, if you know what I mean. The things that when it's going well down there, life is a joy. And the things that if it's not going well down there. And so our bodies are designed to operate beautifully for 100 years, no problem. But not if we mistreat them, sit around all day, eat crappy food, think mean thoughts, stare at screens all the day. So yoga is essential. It's just the law of the universe. Operate it properly, you thrive. Abuse it, you lose it. Good big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good. Now, from here, I would like to sit up with you guys for a moment. We're going to go into a different quality of sequence tonight. If you haven't done it before, it may seem a little challenging, but I know how to walk you through it. If you don't have one of these foam yoga blocks, since you're going to be doing yoga with me for 20, 30, 40 more years, go on Amazon, get these blue yoga blocks, 5 inches, 7 inches, 14 inches. Get a pair of these. In the meantime, you could use a pillow or a rolled up blanket or 2 of them, but all we want is a lift of our hips somewhere between 3 to 5 inches. Why are we doing that? Well, it's one of my favorite healing, relaxing sequences. If you're watching for the first time, watch me get in, because when you're in, you're not going to be able to see me unless you have a laptop and you can put it on your face. Anyway, all I'm doing on my back, well, that's a good yoga pose. I'm going to press into my feet, lift up my hips. That's called bridge pose. Now, if you're very tight, your spine is all locked, 5 inches might be too high. You might just need 2 inches because your spine doesn't move like a hydraulic jack like your grandkid does. But right now, for me, at this phase of my life, pressing into my feet, I could lift my bum up probably 8 inches. But this 5 inches of the block, for me, is perfect. For you, it might be 2 inches of a blanket, 3 inches of a pillow, 6 inches of a yoga block. But I don't want it underneath my kidneys. I want it from my belt line down. I want it underneath my sacral bone, the triangular shaped bone at the base of everybody's spine. Now, from here, this is yoga. This is just called bridge pose. It's a really cool pose. Lengthens the back of your neck. It stretches open your abdominal wall. But if we can just bring our knees in, remember, this is just yoga for everybody. My knees are in. Now, I'm keeping my belt line very nicely connected to the block. It gives my lower back something to relax down into. It's a great kidney stretch. For many people, this is actually squatting on your back, and it gives people that could never squat otherwise a chance to get this deep, beautiful, bodily, squat-like compression. But then I do invite you, if you find it in your ilk, to stretch your legs up. Then it becomes supported bridge pose, Viparita Karani, Ekapada Urdhva Prasarita, something asana. Anyway, legs up. If you're new and your knees are bent and you're just kind of going, wow, then you do it for a moment, then you would come back to here. No one's going to judge you except for you. If you find yourself judging yourself, one of the great benefits of yoga will be to discern, but not to judge. Discernment means, wow, this is where I'm at. I can fix this. Judgment is, I hate where I'm at. I quit. So discern where you're at, legs up, and we're going to do this for about 1.5 minutes. Circulatory benefit, seeing the world from a different angle, beautiful stretch of your thoracic spine, neck spine, nice squeezing of your thyroid, and just the fun of just laying on your back with your legs up. If you do this with me for a while, you will find this to be a very pleasurable, very enjoyable experience. We don't want the legs drifting forward, at least not for now. That's a whole nother thing. Just straight up and down. Can you do this with me for another minute? I bet you can. I like the way my kidneys and my lower back is relaxing into this gap. That's pure parasympathetic nervous system stuff. Gives you a chance to have a look at your ceiling. Got any cobwebs you need to get up there and clean? No, somebody else does, right? I swear to you, I promise you a spiritual promise, 2 or 3 minutes of this can really begin to change the tide of what it feels like to live inside of your body. Good, now, this is confronting. Widen your legs out. If you haven't done this 10, 15, 40 years, you're going to say, yikes, and you just visit for a moment. I do this every day. This is as far as my legs are going to go in this lifetime. Think of all these big muscles in your legs that go dead if we don't use them in some targeted surgical fashion like this. Good, now when your legs come back in together, we're going to wrap our left thigh over our right thigh. Remember, we just did that a few minutes ago? If only your ankle goes over your right knee, that's okay. If the whole thigh goes over, that's okay. Now we're going to drift. By the way, if your left ankle goes under, more power to you. Let your right foot drift down. If you're a bendier person, you can take your arms back up over your head. You'll feel this whole long systemic stretch through the long middle line of your body, especially these very tight hip flexors. If you're an Olympic athlete or a pro football player or something, you're familiar with moving this, but you're probably not. Not if you've been watching this long. Now I'm breathing from even below my belly button. Great for the big, long, tight muscles in everybody's lower back. Everybody complains about their lower back, and there's a reason, because they're not ever moving, stretching, releasing, strengthening it. Okay, now just these 2 crossed knees, bring them in, uncross them, take them up. By the end of this class, you're going to feel like $1 million. At various points in the class, you're going to feel like $10 or $50, but we're heading toward 1 million, kids. This 3, 4, 5, 6-inch lift of your hips is powerful. It's dynamic. Now, I'm going to cross my right thigh over my left thigh. If it was just my ankle, I would accept that. My whole thigh will cross over. Now, some of you can slink your right ankle underneath your left ankle. But then, whichever way, your left, you may find it very challenging with the lift of your hips to bring your left foot down. Sooner or later, the tissue will open up, the range of motion will come back. I'm going to grab my elbows and bring my elbows back up over my head. The counterweighting of my legs against my arms delivers this beautiful long stretch along the whole entire length of my spine for a minute. My breathing slows down, my parasympathetic nervous system activates. That's rest and relaxation. If that part of our nervous system never turns on, then there's a technical term, life turns into hell, and you don't want that. Okay, really big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good, now we're going to bring our knees in, uncross. Now I want you to be very careful with this one. All I'm doing is I'm keeping my hips on the block. I'm bringing my knees in as far as they'll go. If I was a little kid, my thigh bones and my knees would come all the way to my chest. I could reach up and very gently grab my knees. I do not want your butt lifting off of the block. That's a whole different kettle of fish. I want you to go into egg pose, fetal position. Now with my ankles dorsiflexed, this is the same as squatting without the pressure on the ankles, knees, and hips that a lot of adults can't take anymore. So this is your road back. I can wrap my elbows around my knees. Now for my bendier friends, my legs can go up and I can do Urdhva Paschimottanasana, which is simply letting my legs slowly jackknife into a forward fold. Now you might look at me and say, you should be bendier than that. Your legs should come all the way down. And to that I would say, because I'm not in competition with you, I'm in competition with myself. I'm comparing who I was yesterday to who I am today. There's a deep fold at my hips. I'm not bouncing. I'm getting a slow, patient stretch of my whole muscular chain from my pelvis, where my hamstrings connect, all the way out through my heels. If you're bendier than me, good. If you're tighter than me, good, because God wants lots of us in lots of different conditions. Can you do this with me for one more minute, and then we'll be at essentially the conclusion of Yin's Day. Drop your chin, relax the back of your neck. 90% of this is patience, 10% is good form, 8% is math. I'm keeping my ankles not rigid, but a good dorsiflexion, inner ankle bones pushing together, little toes flaring outward, just these little energetic flares that keep our nervous system active, lively, and fun-loving. Oh, do I love the way that this sinks in. Good, now, with my thighs in, I'm going to bend my knees, hug my knees in. My knees come in way further now. I can get my elbows all the way up over my knees. Don't worry if you can't. Good, now I'm going to release my knees, and I'm going to let them drift. My feet drift all the way back down. Feet flat, arms down by the side of my body, and I'm just going to lift my hips up 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. That's about my max. Now I'm going to move the block out of the way. I'm going to bring my hips down, and I'm going to bring the soles of my feet in together, and I'm going to let my knees widen out. Don't worry, we won't be in this one for that long. Similarly, I'm going to grab my elbows. Now this is a full skeletal release. If your knees are way up and you're foaming out the nose, boy, are you lucky you found this class. Good, now I'm going to lift up my spine. I'm coming back. Kids, I'm coming back. Now, if you're brand new to yoga, watching this on YouTube for the first time, two important things. Like and subscribe, please. It helps. It helps me and Looney. It helps us. We're taking grammar classes. Now, next, yogis say at the end of class, you get 5 minutes to relax. So for that, this is why you want to get yoga blankets. I'm rolling up a blanket underneath my neck, and I'm going to put a yoga bolster underneath my knees. At this point, knees, head. Doesn't this just make sense? 5 minutes of the deepest relaxation of your whole life. If you've watched this far, you've got to do this. You can't skip Shavasana. All the angels, all the God is watching, and they want you to do 5 minutes of deep bodily, mind, heart, body, soul release. My neck is supported, my knees are supported, everything else is sinking in. Life is good. And now I will not bother you for 5 minutes, and I will do the pose with you. Oh boy, feels good, doesn't it? This is the fruit of your practice. 5 minutes melting into the floor. Your breathing will naturally slow down. Your body will release. Your blood pressure will decrease. Your parasympathetic nervous system will activate. Okay, my friends all the way around the world, there's that guy's voice from 10 miles or 1,000 or 10,000 miles away. Start to breathe back toward your body. This is the point where we really soak up, we absorb, we assimilate a great deal of love and light and truth. This is where we receive the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, the Chi, the Prana, the life force. I don't care what you call it, as long as you call upon it and receive it. Wiggle your fingers and toes, circulate super extra feel good through your body. Good, now curl onto your right side, fetal position, for a few moments. Rest on your right side. Love all over yourself, that's my message. Move your body. Love your neighbors. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. Good, now we're going to sit up with our eyes closed. And as we gather ourselves into a seated position, friends in a network around the world, we'll bring hands into the heart. And as we're connected on the internet, we're connected in spirit, we're connected energetically, we're connected vibrationally. If you go deep into you, and I go deep into me, and we go deep into we do come to the same place together. This is the truth that will heal us in this crazy mixed up world. All together we say, Namaste. If it's the first time you've watched this, or if it's the 10th or the 50th, if you're watching this live on September 25th, 2024, or you're watching it recorded in 10,000 years, thank you. Thank you for adding your beautiful self. Anytime two or more are gathered, it increases the attraction power. By the way, I ask you humbly, please like and subscribe. If you've been watching and it's easy to forget. But every now and then you find something that's meaningful and purposeful, and you know that by liking on and subscribing on YouTube, it tickles the algorithm, and then 100 becomes 1,000, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000, 100,000, etc. And it's my goal, expressed beyond any shadow of a doubt, to share the heart and the love of yoga and life all the way around the world. Thank you for helping. We'll see you guys next time.